All right, shalom, shalom. Back with another video. Before I get started, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Hakadash. Also, we'll give double honor to the elders and apostles of GMS that rule well and teach for this 100% truth. All right, so I'm gonna go into this video about this CIA whistleblower. Okay, he's going into just a Palantir lawsuit. Okay, and this digital prison. Okay, what's going to be taking place, which I'm gonna bring out some points, okay, that links up with the prophecy. All right, because this is what time we're in, man. We're at a time with this chip is going to be mandated. All right.
Well, we told you about the extinction level event that is coming, and now we have our clearest sign yet that it's being accelerated. But some brave individuals are trying to stop it. A new groundbreaking lawsuit, arguably one of the most important lawsuits in history, has just been filed against one of the most powerful and secretive technology companies in America, Palantir Technologies, along with its billionaire founder, Peter Thiel, CEO Alex Karp, and the COO, Shyam Sankar. Now, the plaintiffs are listed anonymously in this complaint as John Doe and Jane Doe, but it's way bigger than just these names. They allege that Palantir has crossed a constitutional Rubicon, if you will, using its artificial intelligence systems to surveil, profile, and manipulate the American public without our consent. According to this 43-page verified complaint that I've read in federal court, Palantir software, the same tools that are used by the Pentagon, the Department of Homeland Security, and intelligence agencies, are allegedly being deployed domestically to monitor U.S. citizens, harvest our biometric data, censor online speech, and even interfere with elections. And it goes much deeper than all of that. The plaintiffs are accusing Palantir of developing what they call synthetic intelligence, technology that merges machine reasoning with human behavior prediction, pre-crime, Minority Report style stuff, effectively trespassing into the human mind. They claim it violates basic rights in privacy, free speech, cognitive liberty. Cognitive liberty. It's a new phrase, a term gaining traction among digital privacy advocates, and I'm glad we're going to have this discussion. James Martinez is an MK Ultra whistleblower. He received information about this lawsuit a long time ago, and we had him on to discuss this extinction level event that is coming. And I was just speaking to James a few minutes ago, who said this is an accelerant. This is speeding up this extinction level event. And James joins us once again here on the show. James, great to have you back on the show. Thank you so much. And I have to say, your first appearance on our show was mind-blowing. People around the world, millions of people have seen that interview and are just stunned by what you revealed. But this takes it to the next level, no, with this lawsuit?
Yeah, it does. Because of certain technological advancements in the brain-computer interface community, what we're seeing now is multiple states are starting to begin legislation to protect brain data. Now, Palantir is a collection company. It basically surveils and checks and takes all your data and synthesizes it to create a picture about a person, a place, or a thing. Now, since this is now very public, in terms of what the company intends to do, it's been slowly preparing the public, and that was quite apparent when the presence was known at a very well-watched event that happened recently during the Charlie Kirk funeral, where Palantir was on the wall right next to the stage, as if they were sponsoring the event, which I found, I saw that as, yeah, it's a funeral. It's a funeral for everybody, based upon the media ecological effects of what technology does when you insert it and begin to use it. And when I'm talking about media ecological effects, that's a word that came from, was kind of coined by Marshall McLuhan, which basically says what happens when you introduce technology and how it affects the sensory balance in the brain between the senses and how you create your reality. Like, for instance, the media ecological effect of a fork would be to accelerate the amount of food you could get into your mouth. That would be an effect. With this technology, its effects will basically, they'll have access to all your data and then begin the model of who you are. You won't have authority over it unless you've done some very serious things in the courtroom. And it's going to eventually create complete paranoia because you'll have absolute zero privacy. We haven't had privacy for a while because of Google, but this, at this time, is an accelerant on top of all of it that is going to violate most of, if not all, our cognitive liberties, because now we're into predictive models of behavior, of human behavior. And what is that going to mean in court? What's it going to mean when you create the data off of somebody that's profiling that is a criminal, and the data, which is digital, can be broken into and changed? You have all these ethical problems and legal potential problems that are going to exist as an effect of this technology. There's just been recently a bill I was made aware of that the Democrats have drawn up to protect the first, it's a Brain Data Protection Act, essentially. And the point of this is this: when I came on and spoke about the extinction level event because of the fusion of brain and computer and quantum and what that does, what that ultimately is going to do, the acceleration of this company, as I was contacted from people that are out there that are already suffering enough from weapons, neurocognitive weapons being used against the public in the US right now. I get more email about that than you would ever imagine. And this is one of the effects is from this company. As it accelerates, you're going to see the biggest mental health breakdown in the history of history, because people won't know what's real and what is not, and what can be faked. Because when you're screwing around and creating future predictive models on human behavior, now you can be charged.
And you see that now, man, with these AI videos, man. You don't know what's real or fake. Okay, you got people, making these videos, man. It's just like, damn, you just can't tell. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get this preset real quick. This is Daniel 12:4. It says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Okay, so at one point this book was sealed. Okay, and how this book came unsealed was through the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, what he did on that cross. Okay, and he was found worthy to open the seals of the book. Okay, and this is how we have the understanding, okay, of these times that were coming in, and the secrets and the mysteries. Okay, with that holy Yahweh Shai sending that Holy Spirit down. Okay, the Spirit of truth. Okay, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit will guide you to all truth, roughly paraphrasing. So it says, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Okay, and knowledge is being increased with us gaining this knowledge and understanding, and also going into this technological knowledge has been increased. Okay, with this technology. Okay, which that's prophecy, because that's a part of this increase in technology is how they're going to set up this MOTB, okay, and also how they're, um, you know, going into these the nuclear weapons, these nuclear missiles. Okay, so knowledge has been increased. Okay, on a whole nother level. Okay, so this is how we know we are in the end time. All right, go back to this video.
By intention of the algorithm that says you hate your neighbor because they're some color, and you can be profiled. Not to mention that all this data they claim with all these gigantic bills that they're having in multiple states, that they're going to protect your brain data. Really? You're going to protect our brain data? No. No bill law has ever been made that stopped anybody from doing anything. So this lawsuit here is an invitation for the entire human civilization to have a very serious talk about its future.
I lost $50,000 because I didn't buy a domain name. My advice, head to Wix and grab yours now.
Cutting off of our human spiritual component that makes us human. And we're not turning into machines until we have the big talk with everybody, because that's what really all of this is about. This lawsuit brings up all sorts of legal issues having to do with just privacy, not to mention theft of data. And they're presuming with all the data that they're stealing, are going to be stealing and spying on everybody, that data is theirs. When they're going to argue that we voluntarily complied to go for all this. This is the problem with these big technology companies that are just way out of hand, and who these guys are working for, because it's already become highly politicized because of what's happened in Israel, where they were using Palantir technology there with the genocide and everything. So what does this mean? We've got people testifying about extraterrestrials in Congress. You've got genocide going across the another side of the world. You've got a complete riots all over the United States right now. You've got, I mean, a whole ton of major activities are going on.
All right, so he said he's going into this riots. Okay, the media is not telling us this. Okay, because you got the small hats. You know, at least they control what we see. Okay, this is why it's good to go through these outsource, these other news sources. Okay, because they're not going to tell us what's going on. Okay, because that was one of the signs what to look for. Okay, the uproars of the people. Okay, riots, protests, all this stuff. All this stuff is going around. Okay, the globe. All right, but you know, they're just not going to show that to us, okay, on this, you know, over here in Babylon the Great, which is America, right?
Whilst the real end of the show has to do with free speech, because they're already starting to legislate that. And this is going to be part of a tool that makes that legislation enforceable. So it's over. It is over unless people get involved with this, because the plaintiffs may be John Doe, Jane Doe, but it's you, the person that's watching this, you, the host, everybody, because this is the one battle that you can't walk away from and just like, oh, he'll take care of it, he's doing it over there. No, you've got to be prepared for this, because in Europe right now, now they're requiring biometrics to go anywhere. So the digital prison coming out, yeah. and this is part of it, because this is
right. So as you see, man, it's whistleblower, man. You know, a lot of people that look at this like a conspiracy. Oh, that's not true, whatever. No, this is what time we're in, man. Okay, this is prophecy. Okay, this digital prison, okay, which Esau is setting up, okay, by the means of these wars, okay, by causing the chaos, causing these crises or whatever. Therefore, they can push their agenda. Okay, the biometric ID The digital ID is all a part of pushing towards this MOTB. It's all a part of this digital infrastructure. Okay, as he was going into Europe, okay, they're going to now Americans, okay, that go to Europe are now going to have to get a biometric ID, okay, digital ID, okay. So all this is leading into that chip, okay, because and he's going to go into it. I'm gonna let him finish what he was saying, and I'm gonna get a precept.
This is going to be used as a behavioral tool to control populations because they don't really want you here anyway. Because the World Economic Forum, as many of your people in your audience know, this is just a tool to take down humans and put them into the fusion basis with machinery, and essentially that kills you. You're no longer human. So that's the issue with this.
Right, and how they gonna do that? Okay, they're gonna do that by putting a chip in you, right? Let's get Revelations 13, 16 real quick. All right, this is Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell except he have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right. So what Esau's doing is, okay, he's going to want to insert a chip, okay, because when you go into that word mark, it goes into the word charagma. Okay, etching and imprint. Let's go into this word real quick. I don't want to butcher it. Where is it at?
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
All right, so it's a charagma. Okay, it says outline biblical usage, a stamp and imprinted mark. Okay, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Okay, so this is going to be a physical mark. Okay, it's going to be that chip that they're going to insert that to you, correct? Because when we go into the root word of this, it says karax, right?
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
It says from the root word etymology from karasso, to sharpen to a point, akin to a, through the idea of scratching. Okay, because this is going to be the utensil they're going to use to insert that chip, right? It says a pale or stake, a palisade or rampart, pales between which earth, stones, trees, and timbers are heaped and packed together. All right. Let's go back. So this is going to be a physical mark, okay, which is going to be a chip that's going to insert into you, okay, because you're not going to be able to buy or sell unless you have that chip. Okay, so just like he was going into, okay, they're making it this biometric digital ID. If you don't have it, okay, pretty much you're not going to be able to get around. All right. You're not going to be able, because you're going to need that to for your identification. All right. And all that is going to lead to this chip. Okay. Because once they make it mandatory, okay, and if you don't pretty much follow suit, okay, with the agenda, you're not going to be able to participate in society. Okay. That's why it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Okay. So that goes for everyone. Okay. Small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay. We see these things with the Neuralink. Okay. This is the vision that John the Revelator was seeing. Okay. People getting a chip in their hand, chip in their foreheads. Right. It says that no man might buy or sell except he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So this is what time we're in, man. Right? It's all about control. Okay. You know, it's all about control. This is what Esau's, him pushing this new world order. Okay, his whole agenda is to cause chaos, and through this chaos is how he's gonna push this order, this new world order. Okay, and he's pushing everybody into a squeeze and getting them ready to accept that chip. Okay, let's get a preset real quick. This is Psalms 2:1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?" Okay, so why do the heathen reign? Okay, the heathen, the other nations, and the people imagine a vain thing. Okay, so when you go into this word imagine, right? Let's get this real quick.
Strong's H 1897. Haggah. Haggah.
All right, so it says outline biblical usage to moan, growl, utter, muse, mutter, meditate, devise, plot, speak. Okay, so what are they meditating on? What are they devising? They're plotting on this chip. Okay, this is the heathen. Why do the heathen rage? Why do they, how you say it, plan or devise? Okay, this wickedness, right? Let's read this again. So it says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Okay, and that vain thing is them trying to establish this new world order. Okay, this MOTB to get people chipped. Okay, because all and when really is going to be it's destined to fail because it's not going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. So it's a vain thing. All right. It says the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh, Mashiach, and against his anointing. Okay, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Okay, so the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together. Okay, going into these top elites. Okay, they take counsel. Okay, with their secret society meetings. Okay, they devise, plan their wickedness. Okay, trying to push their new world order, trying to be the most high. Okay, so this is what we're seeing, man.
We're down here fighting over little things. They're up here with a sort of master plan to move us into this. And I think this is what some of the lawsuit says. And there's some big allegations in here. I want to go through the allegations in this lawsuit against Palantir. The Palantir-enabled systems are being used to enforce health mandates, control access to services, influence beliefs through algorithmic nudges, basically. So control our beliefs, influence our beliefs, so that the government, I guess, presumably, has control. Hey, flip this switch on, flip this switch off. Control our belief systems.
Yeah, because you can do it through the electric environment, through the internet. Has already been demonstrated very well in the last 3 weeks. We saw one thing, but it actually wasn't. And then we were lied about it. I don't even need to explain what that is because everybody knows what that is. It's one of the biggest, it was one of the biggest psychic events in U.S. history and most examined. But now that there's cameras everywhere, it's going to be more and more difficult for people to have a sense of cognitive privacy of paranoia. This is going to, if you have a problem with somebody, you can go think about it in your house, and yeah, I'd love to shoot that guy, but that doesn't mean I'm going to shoot that guy or commit a crime. You'd like to commit a crime, but something takes over and you're done. This was the basis of Minority Report, the film, the legal argument about that, and basically building a data stream on a person that may be a criminal or not, and then by predictive algorithm and their behavior, tying them or accusing them of a crime. So all these effects are going to happen. It won't run smoothly.
If you don't work in IT, keep scrolling.
Okay, now that they're gone,
Maybe we can even step back a little bit. So if someone's new to this, they're like, I thought Palantir was just a technology company. It seems fine. You know, they cavort with President Trump, Peter Thiel.
All right. So pretty much, you know, you see with this technology, what they're trying to control the way you feel. They want to pretty much know when somebody is pretty much thinking what they're thinking. Okay. With Esau and his God complex, he's trying to be the Most High. Okay, he wants to control the way you think. He wants to know what you're thinking. Okay, so if a foolish thought come in your mind, okay, and especially being in this wicked flesh, you're going to get wicked thoughts. Okay, but what Esau is doing is trying to, even though you didn't act that wicked thought out, okay, just because you're thinking it, okay, you're going to be held accountable. That's being the Most High, because even the Most High, Yahweh Shai said, a foolish thought is sin, right? Let me get that real quick. A foolish thought. Let me see if I can find it. A foolish thought. Proverbs 4:9. Right. So it says, it's on Proverbs 24:9. It says, the thought of foolishness is a sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. All right. So Esau wants to control everything that he want to know how you feel. He want to know what you're thinking or whatever. He wants to be with the Most High. Okay. He wants to be able to tell you how to think. Okay. And this is, you know, and the scriptures talk about that, man. And Esau's pride has deceived himself to thinking that he's on that level. Okay. Let's get let's get 2 Thessalonians 2. This is 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin being revealed, the son of perdition. Okay, and that man of sin is being revealed today, which is Esau, Edom. Okay, the so-called white man today, the son of perdition. Okay, destruction. It says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sit in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Okay. And the way Esau has done that, okay, is with, claiming that the Messiah, the Heavenly Father itself, and the angels are so-called white. Okay. He put his image up over there. Okay. So that's one example of him, him exalting himself, okay, that he is worship, okay. And the other thing is going into him setting up this his technology, okay, on the left hand side, right, trying to get everybody chip, Okay, that way he has control of everything. All right. So this is what Esau is doing, right? Let's get another preset. Let's get Ezekiel 28. What's wrong with my stream? But I'll take this one out there. Salakia. All right. Let's get Ezekiel. All right, this is Ezekiel 28, verse 1. It says, the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus says Yahweh power, because thy heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am the Most High, and I sit in the seat of the Most High, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not the Most High, though thou sit thy heart as the heart of the Most High. Okay, and this is talking about the prince of Tyrus. Okay, you know, he was wealthy and, you know, powerful and exalting himself. Okay, but today this applies to Esau. Okay, we compare spiritual things with spiritual things. Okay, and this is using this as Esau. Okay, because this is the same spirit Esau is coming in. Okay, and this is why he's so prideful. Okay, he thinks that he can't be taken down. Okay, by the things that he was able to do, which it was given to him. The power was given to him to do these things. Okay, Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, but Esau's pride has deceived, okay, himself, okay, thinking that it was all on his will, right? So this is applies to, okay, Esau today, which is the so-called white man, okay, because him wanting to control the way you think, okay, and insert a chip in you, okay, is him sitting in the seat like he's the Most High, okay, to want to know what you're buying, all your whereabouts, okay, condemning you, or how you say when you think an evil thought, okay, and you might not act on it, he's going to use it against you just for thinking that, right? So this is what it means for him. He sits in the seat as the Most High, right? By trying to do these things.
Those friends with President Trump, and they've donated to JD Vance's campaign and all of that. Like, it's all fine. So what specifically is this lawsuit really alleging that Palantir has done here?
They've kind of stepped over the line into an area where they're going to.
I'm going to jump. So I'm going to make it too long, but I'm going to jump to one other last point that I wanted to get. Let's stop right here.
Plug it in to AI, give me all the critical data on this, cite these laws and these authorities and whatnot, and let me take a look at it. Yeah, they can do that. Anybody can do that. You can do any suit and then have the AI system synthesize and look at the strengths and weaknesses of the case, just in a legal sense. So, yeah, I think there's going to be how the business of law is conducting itself is forever changed now.
So bottom line this for us, James, how big a deal is this, do you believe? And to someone watching right now who's like hearing about this for the first time, and they're like, oh, this sounds like science fiction right now. I mean, you're an MK Ultra whistleblower. You've seen it in action. And people like to really compartmentalize stuff. They're like, I got to take my kids to dance. this afternoon. Really, the government is targeting weapons against me to control my mind and having me angry about Charlie Kirk's murder, and they want me to be upset about black people. They want me to be upset. Really? I just got to take my kids to dance class right now. But it's affecting all of us in a big, big way. And I think people need to wake up. So I'll give you the final thoughts here on this and how big a deal this really is.
Well, when I was with Walter Bart while he was alive, the guy that wrote Operation Mind Control, and when we were working together before his death, he knew the end game, we both knew, was a complete total takeover of the brain, which is the high ground for warfare. That's what it is, but you don't hear much about it at all. It's all going on secretly. And the technology companies are aiding and abetting the acceleration of that through the brain-computer interface, which is going to change the structure of law, money, information, memory, crime, data store, everything. It'll affect everything. And it'll affect all future communication permanently. So this lawsuit with Palantir is a step into having the public examine what it means to be human. That's really what this has to be. Because I think if the defendants really understood what was going on, which I don't think that they do, in terms of how this is an extinction level event for humans, they might be apt to do something or reel back what they're doing. But we'll see. I think that some big changes are going to occur very, very shortly that are going to even up the ante on this situation, because the Europe is not going to allow that. I just heard today, and I've got to verify, they're not going to allow Americans to come in to Europe if they don't have biometric identification and everything. So all
right, and you see where this is leading at. Okay, Europe. Okay, the beast. Right. That's how where it's leading up to the MOTB, to where it's going to be a mandatory thing. Oh, you don't have the chip. Your identification's on that chip. Everything's on that chip. Okay, so you don't have that chip, you can't get in. Okay, you can't participate in society. You can't drive your vehicle. You can't apply for apartment, etc., etc. Okay, this is what we're seeing. This is where it's leading to. Okay, little by little.
The technological gridlock prison it's coming in like this. And meanwhile, everybody's distracted with everything. But this is what's really going on, because you're not going to have any rights at all. Cognitive rights means your right to your thinking, your opinion, how you formulate your day, how you formulate your emotion even, and how you formulate and make interpretations of what is going on in reality as it pertains to news.
Right. So while everybody's over there piss farting around, okay, watching the World Cup, trying to get their promotion, here this devil is accomplishing a diligent search, okay, to imprison people in this digital infrastructure, okay, and is planning to, is squeezing everybody damn near to condition you to take this chip, okay. This is what time we're in, man. Let me get this real quick. This is Romans 13:11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now is the high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Okay, so we are approaching, okay, these not just the destruction to this place, but the salvation for the elect, right? But the point I brought this out is and it's knowing the time, okay, knowing the time that we're in, the things that we're seeing, right? It's a high time to wake out of sleep. All right, because what's coming, Scripture says, going to time like never before, right? Roughly paraphrasing, right?
The other piece of this, I guess, before I let you go, I just have so many questions, James. I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of this. But the idea that we would all get rid of our cell phones, that we would all say enough is enough, you'd in many ways you'd be marginalized in society. I mean, there was a video going around last week or a couple of weeks ago about the Brit card, the new digital ID that's,
Right.
of course, being rolled out in the UK. And it was kind of a meme video, but it showed an old woman. She couldn't get on the bus. And they said, sorry, you need your digital ID Brit card. And she said, but I don't have a smartphone. And the bus just drives away. Like, it'd be great if we get rid of all these smartphones, but we're not. You're going to be said, no, you need to get the app. You need to download the app. You need the digital ID, which is on your phone. Sorry. Like, what's going to happen to these people who say, we don't want this personal liberty. I don't want to have a cell phone. You can't make me buy a cell phone.
Right. That's where it's there. That's the new messaging is you will be left out, left behind, and punished.
Bam. Right on the money. You will be left out, left behind, and punished if you don't take the chip. You see, this is where time we're coming in. This is going into the hour of temptation, right? And if you don't have your faith built up in this, and if you don't have this knowledge and understanding, okay, in these times that we're in, okay, in the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you're going to take that chip, okay? And that's the hour of temptation, okay? You'll be left out, left behind, and punished. Right? Let's get Revelations 3 and 10. Right, let's see. This is Revelations 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay, so this thing is going to be global. This is why you see a lot of these nations, okay, are setting up their digital infrastructure. Okay, this is global, man. So everyone is going to be tested. Okay, so that's when you go into that word to try, it means to test, right? Let's get that real quick.
Strong's G 3985, Pyrazzo.
All right, it says outline biblical usage. Where is that? It says to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt, endure, to try, to make trial of tests for the purpose of ascertaining his quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. It's verse 3. It says to try or test one's faith. Okay. And this is where faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, so your faith is going to be tested. Okay. When you don't take that chip, they're going to come down on you. You're not going to be able to participate in society. Okay. And this is why it's important to take heed, okay, and seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai while you can, okay, before all this take down, okay. And this is why you have the man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai on the highways and hedges, okay, pushing this knowledge out there, okay, because we're coming into some times, man, and scriptures talk about what happened if you do take that chip, okay. You're going to be destroyed, okay. You're going to have your part in the lake of fire, okay. So let's get this. So it says you'll be punished, right? Let's get Revelations 13. We'll go back to that real quick. Right. This is get this real quick. This is Revelations 13 and 14. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. Okay, going into his technology. Okay. his false miracles. Okay. For example, saying that the Neuralink is able to make somebody walk, okay, make the blind see, okay, and this is how Esau is going to deceive people and taking this chip, okay, by these lying wonders, okay, these false miracles, okay. It says, which he had power to do inside of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, okay. And this image is this system, okay, that resembles the ancient Roman Empire, right? So it says that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live, okay. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? So this is what's going to happen if you do not, worship the image of the beast, okay? If you are against, okay, their system, okay, you're going to be unalive, right? And it tells you right here, okay? So when he's going into saying that you're going to be punished, that's what that means.
For not modifying your behavior to the technological overlords. It's the digital feudal system putting its stake in the ground, and it has to be discussed on a way bigger level than just these little random talks that these guys do at these conferences and so forth. The public's got to engage these people.
Well, it's like Obama. Remember the Obama phone? Obama
Yes.
was giving out cell phones, and you could go to these like little kiosks around in like poverty-stricken areas. Like you can't even get food. Your kids don't even know how to read, but you can get a cell phone thanks to Obama. Oh, he's just being so generous, right? Just being so generous. It's about being able to track and control all of us, make sure that we're all into this digital ecosystem right now. It's terrifying. Correct. It really is terrifying.
Yeah, but it's ultimately about whether we're going to ascend as a species or not, and this is part of it. This is part of it. You have a right to exist in your normal organic self, separate from any infrastructure, digitally, hardware, anything at all. We weren't created to be machines. That's it.
And they want us that way. For total control.
Yep.
James, thank you for this. Thank you for bringing attention to this lawsuit, which has just been filed against Palantir. Massive lawsuit. We will see what comes of it, what kind of chicanery and tricks Palantir tries to employ to try to avoid this. But we're
all right. I'm gonna stop it there, man. But yeah, man, this is what time we're in, man. And the elders GMS been talking about this for years, man. And these prophecies are speaking, and this was time coming in. And a lot of people, like they asleep, okay, they doing their own thing, and not knowing that Esau, okay, which is so-called white men, which they fight for and they love so much, it's going to come down with them and chip all of them. All right. So that's all I got through the spirit. I hope this video was edifying, and I'm gonna say shalom.